Hi, my name is Brittany, and welcome to this gentle yoga practice, Going with the Gentle Flow. I'm really excited to share this practice with you. It is from Inner Dimension TV, which is an online yoga and meditation streaming platform. Please go ahead and click subscribe below, and also click on the link for a 10-day free trial through Inner Dimension TV. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started in our practice.
Hi, and welcome to Going with the Gentle Flow. If you like to use props in your practice, I recommend 2 blocks and maybe a blanket. So let's get started in our practice laying all the way down to the mat. So as you lay down to your mat, on your back, bring your feet out as wide as the mat. And today let's take our arms out wide with your palms facing up. Taking a few moments to invite yourself into your practice. Allowing yourself to ground down in this moment and start to pay attention to the flow of your breath. Noticing your inhales and your exhales. And through our practice today, we will be tapping into the element of water, allowing our movements to be flowing, our minds to dissolve our distractions, and letting our bodies melt into a space of comfort within each pose. So in this moment right now, see if you can start to deepen the breath a little bit more. Notice what it feels like to inhale and to exhale. Just imagining that anything you're holding on to inside your body or your mind can just start to flow out of the body. Releasing from the heart, out through your arms and your fingertips, through your legs and your feet. Starting to connect to this outward flow of energy, what's called Vyana Vayu, this outward wind. And as you move through your practice today, see if you can really pay attention to the things that you need. From one moment to the next, shifting or changing anytime you need to, just knowing that this is your practice. As you continue to pay attention to the flow of your breath, keep your arms outstretched. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold your breath in at the top for just a moment, and then open your mouth and exhale, sigh it out. And again, keeping the arms out wide, start to bend your right knee, placing your foot down on the earth. And bend your left knee as well, placing your foot on the ground. And just start to reach out through your fingertips a little bit more, finding that outward flow of energy. And as you connect with the breath a little bit further, we'll start to move with our breath. So take an inhale as you reach out through the arms. As you exhale, bring your knees to your chest and hold onto the knees, curl your forehead up to your knees. On your next inhale, place your feet back down, open the arms wide. As you exhale, curl your knees into your chest, curl yourself into a little ball. One more time. Inhale, place your feet down, open your hands. As you exhale, bring the knees into your chest, hold on to the knees this time, and take a couple more breaths here, just noticing what it feels like to breathe in and to breathe out. Take another full inhale. And as you exhale, slowly start to roll over onto the right side of your body. And just take a moment here on the right side of your body. Just paying attention to what it feels like to lay here, to connect to your breath. Take one more inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly start to press yourself up to a seat. And once you make your way into your seat, let's place our hands on top of the lower belly, right below the belly button, closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Taking a couple of moments to connect to yourself. The water element is connected to the second chakra, Swadhisthana, which is the seat of our vital force. So giving yourself a little bit of time to connect to your emotional and sensual self. Letting this practice be a place where you can start to move away from your logical and thinking mind and start to move down into a space of feeling a little bit more, of connecting to your physical and emotional energy. So connecting with that expression. Take another inhale deep into the belly. And as you exhale, slowly blink the eyes open. And let's reach our arms all the way out to the sides of the room, reaching through the fingertips nice and wide. And then taking all of your awareness to your hands, to your fingers. And then just start to open and close the hands a few times. Spreading out through the fingertips and making a fist. Maybe the knuckles come forward. And then taking a couple of little rolls with the wrists in one direction. And roll it out the other way. And then coming back into center with the arms spread out wide. Following your breath, take a full inhale as you lift up through your heart space. As you exhale, bring your arms forward, palms connect round through the spine. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, bend the elbows, cactus the arms open wide. Inhale, reach your arms out to the sides. Exhale, round the spine, palms come forward. Inhale, sit up tall, reach your arms high. And exhale, bend the elbows, open your heart space. One more time. Inhale, arms out to the sides. Exhale, round forward, palms connect. Inhale, lift all the way back up, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, cactus the arms. Now this time, as you inhale, reach your arms back up to the sky. With your exhale, set your hands down on either side of you, off of your mat, to your sides, to the ground. And then keeping your right fingertips low, on your next inhale, reach your left arm all the way up. As you exhale, start to lean over to the right, pressing through your right palm into the earth. Now take a moment to notice how this feels. If you feel like you can't take a deep breath in anymore, see if you can ease out of the pose and create a little more space for your breathing. If it feels good for you to open your heart toward the left side of the room a little bit more, you can. And as you reach through the fingertips over to the right, continue to breathe. On your next inhale, lift your left arm all the way back up. And as you exhale, set your left fingertips back down to the earth. Other side, inhale, right arm lifts up. Plant through your left palm and slowly start to lean over to the left. Pay attention to this side of your body. It might feel a little bit different than the other side. So just notice as you're stretching out the right side of your body, what does it feel like to stretch out from the fingertips, down your right arm, into your right side ribs, and into the right hip as you ground evenly through both sit bones. Continue to breathe. And again, it might feel good to rotate open toward the right just a little bit more here. On your next inhale, reach all the way back up. And as you exhale, set your right hand back down to the earth. Let's make our way into tabletop pose, all fours. And then once you make your way into tabletop pose, take a couple of moments to maybe sway a little bit from side to side. Tap into that energy of water and fluidity. Pay attention to what your body needs today. For some of us, it might be rolling through the back or just wiggling the hips out. What feels good for you? So really let yourself move intuitively today. Get flowy. So if at any time in any pose here, in this entire practice, you want to move a little bit more, feel free. When it feels good for you, make your way into a neutral tabletop pose. Bring your big toes together, your knees out wide, and press back into child's pose. Take a few moments here in child's pose to release down. Connect back to your breath. And as you connect to the flow of your breath, we'll allow ourselves to connect the movement to our breath once again. So pressing through your hands, on your inhale, round your spine, come back to tabletop pose. And then as you exhale, lift your heart and press your hips back to child's pose. So starting to round through the spine a little bit more. Inhale, round up to tabletop pose. As you exhale, cow pose back into your child's pose, release back. One more time like this, rounding up to tabletop pose, inhale. And exhale, release back to child's pose, let it go. Pause for a few moments here, settle in with the breath. Let yourself pay attention from one moment to the next what you need, because this is your practice, nobody else's. Lift yourself back up into tabletop pose on your next inhale. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips up to the sky, making your way into a downward facing dog. But if it feels better today to keep your knees bent, you can. If you'd like to take your dog for a little stroll here, you can, bending into the knees one at a time or at the same time. If you'd like to sway the hips a little bit from side to side, again, tap into that flowing energy. Just let yourself move a little bit. And then when it feels good for you, to come back into downward facing dog. Again, knees can be bent. Just slope the hips to the sky. Let this be gentle. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up toward the sky. As you exhale, step your right foot in between your hands at the top of the mat and lower your left knee down to the ground. Now, if you'd like to pad up the knee with a blanket at home, feel free to take a blanket underneath your knee. And if you'd like to use a couple of blocks, go ahead and grab your blocks underneath your hands. Give yourself a little bit more space between your thigh and your chest. So from this low lunge, come high up onto your fingertips. Start to open up through your chest and heart. Take a full deep breath in here. As you exhale, straighten the right leg and gently come back to half splits. Following your breath, rebend the knee. Inhale, open up your heart. As you exhale, straighten the leg, pour your chest over the thigh. One more time, rebend the knee as you inhale. And then last time to Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. And then let's pause here in half splits. Crawl your hands and blocks back so that your hands and blocks are underneath your shoulders. And just breathing into the back side of the right leg. If it feels better to keep a little bend in the knee, please feel free. And as you find a little bit of length in your spine, then start to hinge at the hips, coming forward a little bit deeper into the pose if that feels good for you. Beautiful. Let's take one more full inhale here. And then as you exhale, rebend your knee, crawl your hands and blocks forward, and set your blocks aside. Place your hands down onto the ground. Tuck your left toes and lift your left knee up. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, step forward into a fold. With your feet hip width apart, Put a little bend in your knees, and then grab opposite elbows with your hands to make a frame for your head to fall down into. And if it feels good to gently sway from side to side, let yourself move a bit here, imagining that anything that you are carrying with you that feels excessive can just start to pour out of the crown of your head, releasing it out. Go ahead and switch the crossing of the arms so the opposite forearm is in front, and then maybe nod the head yes, or gently shake the head from side to side. And then releasing back down into this stillness, take an inhale, and as you exhale, relax your hands back down to the ground. Put a deep bend in your knees, and then one vertebrae at a time, slowly start to ragdoll your way all the way up to standing. Take your time. Head and neck are the last things to come up. And once you get to standing, roll the shoulders down away from the ears. And then again, it might feel good to gently rock from side to side. Close your eyes and just start to feel into this movement. So moving out of the space of thinking into the space of feeling. Just a little bit of that rocking. Good. From this place, on your inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. As you exhale, forward fold, release down to the earth. One time, bring your hands to your shins. Lift halfway up, flat back as you inhale. Fold back in as you exhale, and step your right foot to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee down, pat it up if you'd like. Now this time, keep your right hand down to the ground. If you'd like to place a block under your hand, you can. And then start to reach your left fingertips over to the left side of the room. And just find a lot of length through your arm, that outward flow of energy once again. And then checking in with your back. If it feels good for you, start to reach your left arm up to the sky, opening your heart toward the left side of the room. A gentle twist here. Continue to spread wide through the fingertips. Lifting up through the fingertips just a little bit more and flowing with your breath. Take a full inhale here. As you exhale, sweep your left arm underneath the left leg and round through the back. Inhale, reach your arm back up to the sky. Exhale, sweep the arm underneath the leg. Inhale, arm lifts high. One more time, sweep it underneath the leg as you exhale. Last time, reach your arm up to the sky as you inhale, and exhale, just set your hand back down to the earth. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee up, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Move your blocks aside if you're using blocks. Pause for just a moment here in down dog. And then on your inhale, gently make your way down to a tabletop pose, slowly lowering the knees. Now in this tabletop pose here, crawl the knees back just a little bit more so that they're behind your hips, but keep your shoulders right on top of your wrists. We're gonna make big circles with the body here. So following our breath, take a full inhale here in your tabletop. As you exhale, bring your hips down toward the right heel, swing them over to the left heel, and then inhale to make your way back up. Big circles with the body, exhaling to release all the way back. Start to follow your own breath pace. With every inhale, you rise up, and with every exhale, you gently press back. Take a couple more in this direction. And then the next time you rise up, start to make the circles in the other direction. So bringing your hips down toward your left heel, swinging the hips over to the right, and then making your way all the way back up. See if you can deepen the breath just a little bit more. Feel into the fluid element of water. A couple more like this. And then when you feel ready, make your way back into neutral tabletop pose. And then again, tuck your toes, lift yourself up into a downward facing dog for just a moment here. And again, knees can be bent, so feel into what you need today. With your next inhale, slowly bring your left leg up toward the sky. As you exhale, step your left foot in between your hands, top of the mat, and lower your right knee down to the ground. Pat it up if you'd like. Taking blocks underneath your hands if that feels a little bit better for you, finding a little more lift and lengthening here. Come high up onto the fingertips and start to open up through your heart space. Reaching through the crown of the head. Take a full inhale here. As you exhale, half split, straighten the left leg, left toes point up toward the sky. Rebend the left knee on your inhale, coming forward, open your heart. As you exhale, straighten the leg, half splits. Inhale, rebend the knee, coming forward. One more time to your half splits, and let's hold it here for a few moments. Your knee doesn't have to be perfectly straight, so if it feels better for you to have a little bend in the knee, honor that. Imagine you can send your breath in every place in the body, not just in your lungs. So send your breath into your left hamstring in this moment. Take a couple more moments here. Breathe in deep, finding length in the spine with every inhale and a little depth with every exhale. Take one more inhale here, my friends. And as you exhale, rebend your knee, crawl your hands and blocks forward. Set your blocks aside if you're using them. Bring your hands down to the earth. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee up. Take a full inhale, and then exhale, step forward to your fold. With your knees bent, feet hip width apart, start to ragdoll your way all the way up to standing. Take your time to come up. Again, head and neck are the last things to come up. And once you get here, one more time, let's close our eyes and just start to sway a little bit from side to side. Make the movements a little bit bigger. Maybe the head gets involved. The shoulders might start to roll out. Just let this feel good. Don't worry about what it looks like. Just feel into it. And then coming back into center on your inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, forward fold, release down to the earth. Hands to your shins, lift halfway up, flatten out your back as you inhale. Fold back down and step your left foot to the back of the mat, lowering your left knee down to the ground. And then keep your left hand on the ground this time. Maybe place a block underneath your hand, and just start by taking your right fingertips out to the right side of your room. So finding all of that length. Reach through the fingertips, spread the fingertips wide. And then checking in with your back. If it feels good for you, reach your arm up to the sky, coming into a gentle twist, opening your heart toward the right. Relax through any tension you might have in the shoulders, in the face. And then reaching up just a little bit higher, take a full inhale. As you exhale, sweep your arm underneath the leg, round through the back. Inhale, lift your arm up to the sky. Exhale, sweep the arm under the leg. Inhale, arm lifts high. One more time, bring the arm under your leg. Lift the arm all the way back up. Take another full inhale. And as you exhale, set your left hand, your right hand, back down to the ground. Go ahead and move your block if you have it. And then planting through your hands, let's go straight back into downward facing dog. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee up, step yourself back, and pause for just a moment here. Now we're going to work on a little bit of core strength here today, but it is a gentle yoga practice. So allow yourself to come down to your knees instead of plank pose if that feels better for you. So check in with yourself. And following your breath pace, come high up onto your tiptoes, round through your back, come forward to plank pose, take a full inhale. As you exhale, round through the spine, come back to downward facing dog. Again, round through the back, forward to plank pose or tabletop. Exhale, round like an ocean wave back to downward facing dog. Now one more time to come to plank pose. Inhale, round forward. Everybody bring the knees down and slowly rest back into child's pose. Now in this child's pose, you can place a block underneath your forehead if that feels good, if your head doesn't come all the way down to the ground. And then with your forehead on a block or the ground, just gently start to sway your head from side to side. Just imagining that anything else that you're carrying with you in your mind that you don't need in this moment can pour out of your forehead and into the earth. And then if it feels good to sway the hips from side to side, give yourself a nice little gentle rock. And coming back into center. When it feels good for you, make your way up to tabletop pose, all fours. And then crawl your knees forward, crisscross your feet behind you, come all the way down to a seat. And once you make your way to your seat, let's come all the way back down to our back. So laying down to your back, hug your knees into your chest when you get there, and take a nice little gentle rock from side to side. It's giving your back a little gentle massage here. Notice what it feels like to just start to release any of those extra tensions you might be carrying with you. And then holding your right knee into your chest, set your left foot down on the ground with the knee bent. If you'd like a little bit more, you can straighten the left leg all the way down to the ground. So just check in with yourself and what you need. And then holding on to the right knee with both hands, start to make circles with the knee. So taking all of your awareness into the right hip, giving a little bit of movement and fluidity in that hip. Go ahead and make circles in the other direction. Little lubrication for the biggest joint in our body. And then holding the knee back in toward your chest, start to make circles with your ankle. And then making circles the other way, gentle release. And then coming back into stillness, take another inhale. And as you exhale, bring your left knee into your chest as well. Both knees hug in. Take a moment to pause and notice, maybe your right hip feels a little bit different than the other side. Maybe it doesn't, and that's okay too. Keeping your left knee hugging into your chest, set your right foot down on the ground or straighten the leg all the way down to the earth. And holding on to the left knee with both hands, start to make big circles in one direction with the knee. Keep your breath flowing. Releasing tension, just starting to let it melt away, letting it go. Start to make circles in the other direction. And then bringing the knee back into center, start to roll the ankle out. One direction, giving the ankle and foot a little bit of love. And then roll the ankle the other way. And then coming back into stillness, take another inhale, and as you exhale, set your left foot down on the mat with the knee bent, and rebend the right knee if the leg is straight. So both feet are down on your mat. Heel toe your feet out as wide as your mat, and then just start to windshield wiper your knees from side to side, nice and slowly, from side to side. Gently start to bring your knees back up to center and hug your knees into your chest. And even when we come into stillness, we still find that flow of our breath. So tap back into the flow of your breathing. Curl your forehead up to your knees, curling yourself into a little ball. And then take one more deep breath into your practice. Hold your breath in at the top. Sip in a little more air. And then open the mouth, exhale, Shavasana, sigh it out, release all the way down. you're practicing with us at home and you have some more time to stay in Shavasana, please stay for as long as you'd like. If you feel ready to start to move back into your day, take your awareness down to your fingers and your toes. Just start to give them a little wiggle. And then just take your time. When it feels right for you, you can make your way back into your day. But see if you can start to take your practice with you, off of the mat and into your life. And just start to notice all the things that you have going on and where you can make a little bit more room for more openness, a little bit of that outward flow of energy from yourself to others. And see if you can also go with the flow. Allow yourself to do the things that feel best for you. The goodness and the light within me honor the goodness and the light within you. Namaste.